Good morning, children. We should always be happy with whatever we have and not to be greedy. Yes, children, it is very important to have that feeling of contentment, that whatever we have, we should be happy in that. And that is what the story is all about today, children, the crystal ball. So let's read the story. In the south of Spain, there was a small village where people were very joyful. The children played under the shade of trees in the garden of their homes. The adults did work and were very contented. A shepherd boy named Nasser stayed near the village with his family, his father, mother, and grandmother. Each morning, he took his head of goat up to the hill to find a suitable place for them to gaze. In the afternoon, he would return with them to the village. Each night, his grandmother would narrate a story to him, the story of stars. This story really fascinated Nasser. So, children, this is a story about a small boy named Nasser who had a lot of sheep, and he was staying in a village with his family. So, every morning he used to take his sheep to gaze, and then when he comes back in, so grandmother used to tell him a story about stars. So he was very fascinated about the story. One of those days, as Nasser was watching his heat and playing in his flute, he suddenly saw a wonderful light behind a flower bush. When he approached the bush, he saw a beautiful crystal ball. The crystal ball was glittering like a colorful rainbow. Nasser took it in his hand and carefully turned it around. To his surprise, he heard a weak voice coming from the crystal ball. It said, "You can make a wish that your heart desires, and I will fulfill it." So one day, Nasser was again taking his sheep for a walk, and then he suddenly saw some light coming behind a bush. So he went and he saw it was a crystal ball. So he picked up the ball and he started turning the ball and looking at the ball. And then he heard a voice coming from the ball saying, "Make a wish and I will fulfill the wish." Nasser could not believe that he actually heard a voice. When he made sure that he had indeed heard a crystal ball speak, he was very confused. He could not decide on a particular wish. So जैसे ही नासिर ने देखा कि वो क्रिस्टल बॉल बात कर रही है, तो he got confused. He said, अभी मैं क्या एक विश मांगूँ, मैं तो confused हूँ, मुझे तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें चाहिए. He said to himself, "If I will wait till tomorrow, I will remember many things. Then I will make my wish." He put the crystal ball in a bag and gathering his heat happily returned to the village. He decided that he would not tell anyone about the crystal ball. So Nasser said that, "Okay, I will think about my wishes and tomorrow I will tell the crystal ball." So he picked up the crystal ball, put it in the bag and went. On the following day, Nasser could not decide what wish for because he had everything indeed. The day passed as usual and Nasser was still unable to make his wish. But he appeared to be very cheerful. The people around him were amazed to see the change in him. So Nasser still could not decide कि मैं क्या wish करूँ, क्योंकि वो बहुत खुश था, उसके पास सब कुछ था. And the villagers were very happy to see him happy. One day a boy followed Nasser and his heat and hid behind a tree. Nasser, as usually, sat on the corner, took out the crystal ball, and for a few moments looked at it. The boy waited for the moment when Nasser would go to sleep. When Nasser fell asleep for a while, the boy took the crystal ball and ran away. So Nasser अगले दिन वापस अपने sheeps को ले जाते हैं घुमाने के लिए. And then he opened the bag, he took out the crystal ball और वो एक बार crystal ball को देख के वापस बैग में रख देते हैं. तो वहाँ पर एक बच्चा ये छुपके से देख रहा होता है. वो वेट कर रहा होता है कि नासिर जैसे ही सोए वो क्रिस्टल बॉल ले ले. तो क्या करता है, वो क्रिस्टल बॉल नासिर से चुरा के भाग जाता है. When he arrived at the village, he collected all the villagers and showed them the crystal ball. The villagers took the crystal ball in the hand and turned it around astonished. Suddenly, they heard a voice from inside the ball which says, I can fulfill your wish. One person took the ball and screamed, "I want a bag full of gold." Another took the ball and loudly said, "I want 2 chests full of jewelry." One of them wished that they would have their own palace with a grand door and pure gold instead of their old house. Some other wished for a bag full of jewelry. All these wishes were fulfilled, but still the citizens of the village were not happy. They were jealous because the people had a palace and gold and everything. So वो क्या करता है, बच्चा वो बॉल विलेजर्स के पास ले जाता है. And the ball again said that whatever wish you say, I will fulfill it. So everybody started wishing. Somebody says that I want a jewelry box, some says I want a big palace, some says I want a gold coin. So the crystal ball fulfilled all the wishes. However, people were not happy. They were jealous with each other. For this reason, the citizens of the village were angry with each other and stopped talking to each other. The garden in the village where children used to play were no more. There were palaces and gold everywhere. The children became terribly unhappy. Only Nasir and his family were happy and contented. Every morning and afternoon they would play the flute. So, villagers got what they wanted. However, because of jealousy, they were not happy. But then Nasir and the family was very happy and contented. They were happy in whatever they have. Nasir used to play the flute as he always used to do. One day, the children of the village took the crystal ball to Nasir. The children said to Nasir, "When we had a small village, we were happy and joyful." The parents also spoke. They said, "In one way or another, all of us were unhappy. The luxury palaces and jewelry only brought us pain." So बच्चे वो crystal ball नासिर के पास लेके जाते हैं and कहते हैं, when we did not have anything, when we had a small village, everybody was happy. Now we have got palaces, gold, but our parents are not happy. When Nasir saw the people were really regretful, he said, "Even though the crystal ball asked me to wish for something, I had not done it so far. But if you really want everything to return to its own place, I will wish for it." Everyone happily agreed. Nasir took the crystal ball in his hand, turned it around and wished that the village would become the same as it was before. In a moment, the palaces disappeared and the green gardens appeared and the old village filled with trees were there. So Nasir बोलता है, if you want, I had the crystal ball, but I never wished anything. But now I wish that the village returned to the old as it was. So the palaces were gone and it was all small huts and greenery all around. Once again, the people started to live happily with their children, played together in the garden. Nasir continued life contented every day. Playing his flute at the sunset, it was sweet sound to hear throughout the beautiful green valleys. So when the village returned as it was earlier, everybody was happy. Children were playing in the garden, people were talking to each other. Nasir was playing his flute as he always used it. So children, that is what is very important in life, to be happy in whatever we have. We should not be greedy, we should not look for things which will make us happy. Happiness is inside us, it is not in those materialistic things. Always remember that. Whatever you have, be happy in that. Keep sharing things, keep loving each other, and see life will be full of joy. Okay? I will see you in the next class. Till that time, you take care of yourself and bye-bye.